It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo Parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science Potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to this special edition of Science Bowl. The two teams you're about to meet have won our game once already, and one of today's teams will move on to this year's semifinals in the elementary competition. Let's meet the teams now. Let's go first to Capitol Heights Elementary School and introduce you to Kevian Link, Malcolm Johnson, and Christian Jones. And from Hyattsville Elementary School, say hello to Natea Tucker, Elian Contreras, and Uchina Ezejofor. And now here are the categories of questions we use on Science Bowl.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo Parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's Science Potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
Here on Science Bowl, our game board reflects the difficulty of the questions, with the easier ones on the left worth 5 and 10 points, and the tougher ones worth 15, 20, and ultimately 25, the toughest question of them all. Both of our teams start out at 50 points apiece. No penalties ever for incorrect answers. At the end of the 2 rounds, we will have a semi-final competitor. Let's make sure everything's working properly. Let's go to the red team. Malcolm, would you try your buzzer? Thank you. Good luck to you, Kevian, and to Christian. And Elian, would you try yours? Thank you, young man. Good luck to you, to Uchina, and to Natea. Nice to have you all back again. Congratulations for making it this far in our competition. Let's have a good game today. We go alphabetically C before H, so Capitol Heights. Let's play the game. Malcolm, give me a category and a number.
Green things for 5.
Green things for 5 points. Teams, these tropical forests with dense undergrowth are normally associated with the Amazon and deep, dark Africa. What do we call those places, Hyattsville?
Rainforest. Rainforest?
A rainforest or a jungle. Yes, rainforest or jungle is what we were after that time. Go green.
Let's go physical for 5.
Get physical for 5 points. Teams, hard water is when the water that comes out of your spigot is loaded with lots of minerals. But hard water could also be another name for what? Hyattsville.
Ice.
Ice, absolutely right. Good. Go green.
Let's get physical for 10.
Let's get physical for 10 points. Teams, the geological period that came after the Triassic but before the Cretaceous was the time when dinosaurs dominated the Earth. Name that geologic period. Hyattsville.
Jurassic?
The Jurassic, yes, from Jurassic Park, of course. And all of the different movies that followed. All right. Go, green.
Body systems for 5.
Body systems for 5 points. Teams, if someone talks about something that is very sensitive and gets you all upset, they are said to have touched a raw what, Malcolm?
Nerve.
Nerve. You got that right, young man. Good. Go. You're on the board.
Zoo Parade for 5.
Zoo Parade for 5 points. Teams, one of the characters in the winner of this year's Best Children's Book, A Sick Day for Amos McGee, is an animal that is a nocturnal bird. An owl, that's right. He's afraid of the dark, and the zookeeper has to read him bedtime stories. Go red.
Green things for 10.
Green things for 10 points. Teams, the #1 food crop on Earth that is eaten by more people is grown in paddies, mostly in Asia. Name that grain. Capitol Heights.
Rice. Rice.
Rice, yeah, absolutely rice. Rice, far and away the top grain in the world, beating wheat and corn and oats. Go red, 70 all. Tie score.
Zoo Parade for 10.
Zoo Parade for 10 points. Teams, on the Animal Planet, there is a series called Infested. And one of the episodes is about roaches and mice and these masked mammals that like to raid your garbage can. Capitol Heights.
Raccoons.
Raccoons, that's right. They too are pests. Go, Capitol Heights. Thank you, gentlemen, for working together there.
Body systems for 10.
Body systems for 10 points. We know because of Congresswoman Giffords that when the brain is injured, it swells. But since it has nowhere to go, doctors have to go in and remove part of what bone? Malcolm.
Cranium.
Again?
Cranium.
Cranium. Judges? Yes, we are going to accept that. Cranium or skull. Good. Go. Red. Let's turn that light out, please, on the green team, and we'll go on to the next question chosen by Malcolm.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. You know, it is not very scientific to say that something is itsy bitsy or teeny weeny. We use what N initialed prefix that means, Malcolm? No. Red team, you have the advantage. Tell me what this N initialed prefix is.
Nano.
Nano, that's right. In nanometer, everything is nano, meaning 1 billionth. All right. Kevin pulled that one out of the hat at the last moment. 95 to 70. Go again, red.
Dateline science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. Teams, a flesh-eating fungus called white nose syndrome is killing off what winged mammals that live in caves? Bats is right, Malcolm, at Capitol Heights. Yes, many of the bats here in the eastern portion of America are being killed because of this fungus, and we can't seem to figure out where it comes from or what we can do about it. Very serious threat to bats. Red.
Green things for 15.
Green things for 15 points. Teams, if you were doing a test to see what color light, pink, blue, or green, was best for photosynthesis, you might find that pink actually surprisingly is best. You would not be surprised that which of the other colors was the worst. Hyattsville.
Red.
No. Capitol Heights?
Green.
Green, that's right. Yes, the choices were pink, blue, and green. Since green is reflected from plants, it is not absorbed, so it is the least effective of the colors. Go red.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline for 10 points. Teams, this is amazing. They recently found a salt crystal in Israel, 34,000 years old. Inside of it, bacteria and algae still living and reproducing. Almost like this character that Dr. Seuss created that discovered Whoville in a speck. Capitol Heights.
Horton.
You better say it right. Yes, indeed. Horton is the correct answer. Horton here's a who. All right. We're getting rough over there. I didn't know science ball was a physical contact sport here. Okay. Nice going, guys. 125, Hyattsville 70. Come on, Hyattsville, jump in a little faster here. Go, Malcolm.
Science potpourri for 10.
Potpourri for 10 points. Teams, if you go to Rio de Janeiro, be careful if you go near a garbage dump because these big, hairy spiders are there and they eat mice and rats. Capitol Heights.
Tarantula.
Tarantulas, absolutely right. The buzzer has rung. That means our first round, and it was a quick one, is over. We'll be right back with our 6 scholars in a moment. Don't you go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. We've got 6 great young people here. They were here earlier this season, and they're back, and you can see why they're just as smart as can be. We love having them here. Let's go talk to them a little bit before we ask any more science questions. Capitol Heights Elementary has been coming to our school, our game off and on for our 25 years we've been on the air. So it's nice to have Capitol Heights with us. Malcolm, tell us all about Capitol Heights. What is the name of your principal?
The name of our principal is Mr. Whaley.
All right, he's out there rooting for you. And the sponsor of your team?
Miss Frederick.
Miss Frederick, and she's out there. She is so proud of you guys. You're wearing your matching white uniforms over there today. Malcolm, this is your first year on the program, and you'd never know it. You're doing so well. Kevin and Christian, you're vets. You're the old-timers from last year. You're all 6th graders. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Very good. Malcolm, you aspire to be what someday?
A football player.
Football player. If you could pick a team to play for, who would you play for?
Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys. All right. Boy, you get to play in that stadium down there. Have you seen that stadium? That's like something, you know, from, I don't know, from the future. It's amazing the size of that thing. Christian, want to be a lawyer, is that right? Yes. Yes, in law school. Yeah, you've just got that lawyerly attitude. I love how you talk. You've got a nice commanding voice there. What got you interested in the law?
When I was little, my mom worked at a law firm, and I used to like to how the lawyers looked and how they represented themselves, and they said I could debate well, so I decided that that would be my career.
Boy, that was really good advice. That was very good advice. A lot of law shows on TV, too. Law and Order among them, you know, and hopefully you'll watch those, and certainly they do dress well. They look good. Kevian, nice to have you back with us. Tell us the Kevian story. Where are you headed someday?
Marvel Comics to be a storyboard writer.
Yeah, and you told us last time you have been sending them things, or you did send them some things, so they are aware that Kevy and Link is out there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully there'll be a job waiting for you someday. How'd you get interested in all that?
I started reading comics like my mother. She's decorated my room once for my birthday, all superheroes, and then ever since then I've been drawing comics about superheroes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and you're not alone in that because they're just really interesting characters. They just are. Hyattsville, nice to have you guys back with us again, wearing your uniforms as well, the dark shirts over there. And Elian, tell us about Hyattsville. Who's your principal?
Miss Washburn.
Yes, and I know she had joined us on our last program. It was so nice to have her with us. And who's the sponsor of your team?
Mr. Barton.
Mr. Barton, a first-time sponsor, and boy, has he made a wonderful debut here on Science Bowl. Tell us about your school. What do you like best about Hyattsville, Elian?
Mostly the school and all the things it has.
All the things, because there are a lot of resources there. I'm sure there are a lot of extracurricular activities. I know Malcolm told us on a previous show that he really liked the classes, the science and the math there, and the teachers especially. Teachers really make a school, and the students too. What do you want? Astronomy, right, Elian? Still interested in astronomy? Do you have your own telescope?
No.
No, that might be a nice gift for you sometime, right? Hint, hint, if anybody's watching out there. And you want to be the President of the United States. We wish you luck. We'll look for your name on the ballot someday. And on the other side, if you're at the head of the executive branch, over in the judicial side, maybe the Supreme Court Justice will be one Uchina, right? You're headed for the law school and you want to be a judge, right?
Yep.
I'm going to ask you what I asked Christian. Why the law?
Because when I was little, I used to love to argue with my big brother. And my big brother said, my mom asked me one day, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then my big brother just interrupted me and said, you should be a lawyer. And I asked him why. He said, because you love to argue.
Ah, see? So if it turns out you can thank your brother for that someday, right? Yeah, well, arguing and winning your arguments is what that's all about, and being a good representative for your client. It's nice having you on the show. You're a good player, Uchina. Natea, you're a good player, too. How do you know so much about science?
Well, I mostly read about science, and I study it, and I remember it,
And it shows. It really shows. What else did you want to tell me?
That's it.
That's it. Now, you are interested in acting? And you've told me you've been in, was it High School Musical? You tried out for High School Musical? Yeah, that would be great. Have you ever seen Glee?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, too, how those young people can act and sing. They can just do it all at a young age. So maybe you'll follow in their footsteps. You're a good player. Good to have you back. Let's get back into our game. Capitol Heights, 135. Hyattsville, 70. Lots of points to give away. Malcolm, start us out.
Zoo Parade for 15.
Zoo Parade for 15 points. Teams, look at the monitor in the studio, please, if you would. This is a multiple choice question. This is a leaf-cutting ant. You can see those big teeth he's got. Well, over time, they get dull, and he won't be able to cut leaves forever. Which of the following terms is the term for an ant tooth? Is it a tarsus, is it a molar, or is it a mandible? Which of those is an ant tooth, Malcolm?
Mandible.
Mandible, absolutely right. Good, go, red.
Body Systems for 15.
Body Systems, 15 points. Teams, aristocrats used to think they were different from us common folk. In fact, they thought that all of their blood must have been deoxygenated because they thought it was what color? Malcolm?
Blue.
Blue, that's right. Blue, venous blood. They didn't think that they had red blood like the common folk. Of course, they were mistaken. Go, red.
Let's get physical for 15.
Let's get physical for 15 points. Teams, a light bulb connected to a lemon with wires will light up because you have made a wet cell version of what dry cell energy source that we use every day in our appliances. Malcolm.
Battery.
A battery, yes, a wet cell battery. That's a wonderful experiment to try in school. A wet cell, and you can put a voltmeter there. You can show as you're generating energy from a lemon. Go, red.
Green Things for 20.
Green Things for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. When you're eating herbs like parsley and sage and rosemary and thyme, what parts of those plants are you eating? What parts are you eating, Capitol Heights?
Leaves.
The leaves. Herbs are exclusively leaves, whereas spices can be made from any plant part. You're up to 200 points. Come on, Hyattsville. You're down in a hole there. You got to jump up. Uchina and Natalia, start nudging Ellie and get that buzzer pushed. Malcolm, you pick one.
DATELINE Science.
4.
15.
DATELINE for 15 points. Teams, last year, 2010, was the hottest year ever recorded, and because there was so much precipitation last year, it was also the what? Wettest. Capitol Heights?
Wettest.
Wettest, absolutely right. Good answer. Precipitation, snow, hail, rain, all of that tallied up. The wettest year ever. We evidenced with all the floods around. Go. Yes, sir.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo parade for 20 points. Multiple choice question. Teams when salmon return to the streams where they were born to spawn and end their lives, are those streams where they were born known as their feral streams, their natal streams, or their mortal streams? Which of those, Hyattsville?
Mortal?
Not mortal. Are they the feral, the natal, or the mortal?
Natal.
Natal, as in like prenatal care for a pregnant woman. Natal is a word that refers to birth. Go. Red.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Teams in the year 1752, the Julian version of this, with its 365 and a quarter days, was replaced with the Gregorian version, which now says that it has 365 days and 366 in a leap year. What am I talking about? Elian?
February?
No, not February. The Julian version of this had 365 and a quarter days in the year. It was replaced by the Gregorian version of this, which has a year of 365 days, but in leap year, 366.
Calendar.
It is a calendar. Absolutely right. The Gregorian calendar. And Kevian says, just listen to me, man. I know what I'm talking about. Good answer. Good playing. Nice try there. Come on, Elian. Keep trying. Keep getting that buzzer pushed. Go, Malcolm.
Green things for 25.
Green things for 25. Big one in that category. Teams, listen carefully. What D-initialed word describes what we humans did to wild cows, wild pigs, and wild chickens, Elian? Yes, sir. Okay, you must have had an idea. Tell me what was on your mind.
No. Demutation. Devour?
Not devour. Good try. Capitol Heights. What D-initial term describes what we humans did to wild pigs, wild cows, and wild chickens, and we did it to potatoes 3,500 years ago?
Detach.
Domesticated. Domestic animals. We domesticated the potato like we domesticated the cow and the pig and the chicken. Try again. Red.
Zoo parade for 25.
Zoo parade for 25 points. Teams, the top male elk, the top male lion, the top male bear goes by what first letter in the Greek alphabet? Capitol Heights.
A.
No, not A. Hyattsville, the top male elk, top male lion, top male bear in the population goes by what first letter in the Greek alphabet?
It's either M or...
The alpha male. The alpha male. Alpha, beta, gamma. Those are the letters in the Greek alphabet. Go again, red. Gentlemen, focus.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. If you have a fever, sometimes it's very scary if it goes up to 104 or 105, but it's a good thing because it tells you that what body system is working. What body system's working, Capitol Heights?
Immune system.
The immune system, yeah, that's good. Go.
Body systems for 25.
Body systems for 25 points. Look at the monitor, please, in the studio. Two-part answer. Yeah, that guy's doing something I'd never try. He's swallowing a sword. The only way you can do that is to overcome a gag reflex. As it goes down here, what two tubes could it go down? What two tubes, Malcolm?
Bronchial tube and jugular.
No, good try, not bronchial and jugular. The two tubes that sword could go down, you've got to overcome the gag reflex there. What are those two tubes? Come on, 25 points. You need these guys.
Trachea and esophagus?
You got them both. That's the way to do it, Uchina. Perfect. That's what I want to hear. Go green.
Let's get physical for 20.
Let's get physical for 20 points. Teams, what S-initialed chemical that smells like rotten eggs is put into natural gas so if there's a leak, you can smell it? S-initialed. S. Yes, sir. Malcolm thought he had an idea.
Magnetic.
No. Elian, any idea?
Sodium?
Sulfur. Sulfur is what smells like rotten eggs. Go red.
Let's get physical for 25.
Let's get physical 25 points. Teams, what is the large group of stars in the heavens called that has name? Malcolm. Yes, sir. All right, Hyattsville, these large groups of stars in the sky, they have names like Leo and Hercules and Canis Major.
Constellations.
That's what I want to hear, constellations. Good answer. Go green again. You're clawing back.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri for 20 points. Teams, boy, this is not good news. Cancer can develop suddenly if one of these gene-carrying structures in the nucleus of your cells shatters. Hyattsville. What you guys think? Natalia.
I know this.
She says, I know it, I know it. Capitol Heights, these gene-carrying structures in the nucleus of your cells, if they shatter, can lead to cancer. Chromosomes, chromosomes. Go green. Elian.
Dateline science for 20.
Dateline for 20 points. Teams, your question is as follows. Pregnant women are very encouraged because now there is a blood test to see if their unborn baby might have Down syndrome. Instead of getting a needle placed inside an amniocentesis that could harm what F-initialed unborn baby? What is that called, Malcolm?
Fraternal?
Again?
Fraternal?
Not fraternal. No. The unborn baby, what's the F-initial term called? Fetus. Fetus. Try again, green. Two questions left.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25 points. Teams, on the TV show Grey's Anatomy, they recently used coconut water to make up this liquid part of the blood. All right.
What?
The liquid part of the blood is known as, Elliot.
Water? Water?
Not water, no, they use coconut water as a replacement for what substance?
DNA?
Plasma. Plasma. DNA, last question of the game. Excuse me, 25 points in Dateline, 25 points. The question is as follows. Some people hope that the law will be repealed, that in 2014 we will have to turn in all of what kind of light bulbs that we now use. What kind of light bulbs do we now use that we're not going to be able to use after 2014, Hyattsville?
Tungsten?
Not tungsten. Good try. Capitol Heights, what do you call those familiar light bulbs that we don't want to give up?
Energy savers.
Energy savers?
Yeah, no. It's the other ones, the incandescent bulbs. The energy savers are coming in, the compact fluorescents. All right. We had some fun today. We hope you did too. We'll be back with a wrap-up in just a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back to Science Bowl. Really great competition here today. 6 outstanding players, not just good scientists, but good sportsmen and just fine young people that we're very proud of for everything they do. Our final tally today is Hyattsville 120, Capitol Heights 270. The guys in white, you've done it again. Christian, Malcolm, and Kevian. And who was it who went to Whoville, Malcolm? Horton, that's right. We congratulate Miss Frederick back there, and Paige and Dameron. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you guys, too. We loved having you here. You're wonderful players. Natalia and Elian and Uchina. You came back with some great answers at the end there. Destin, you are a wonderful player, too. Mr. Barton, thank you for all that you've done this year. We hope you come back. And Miss Washburn, thanks for honoring us with your presence today and supporting your young people. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Science Bowl. Bye-bye now.